right, Rell, so here's your dash, right? You get to see your big RPM meter and you get to see a little speedometer down there. I don't know why they do that. Either way, we need benzina, so we got to get fuel. But there's a neat option where I can let you know what the ALA system is doing. So if I press and hold this button, it pops up over here now. So now we could see the posterior and the anterior of the car, how much the airflow is either flowing over the car or underneath the car, which is pretty cool.
That wasn't even a true launch.
No, that wasn't a launch. It was just a roll. I just put my foot to the floor and shifted.
Insane.
Next stop will be a gas station, and then after that we'll go on our drive.
Alright guys, we're about to stop and go grab some gas, and we'll go for a ride. Just chat a little bit more. Lamborghini talk, y'all. It's car talk, Lamborghini stop. Let's see y'all, the G-Force and the Performante. That was at what? What did you take it up to?
I don't know.
Seven RPM? About 7,000?
Yeah, about 7,000. I'll do it again here real quick.
Not even 7.
This car will do 0 to 60 in 2.1.
0 to 60 in 2.1 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's a 10.1 second quarter mile.
Insane. This is in sport.
Yep, this is sport mode. We go into Strada, it's going to get quiet.
Yep,
So we don't have the exhaust. When we come down into Corsa, which is your race mode, that's where you get the drama.
Throttle response change as well?
Nope, throttle response doesn't change, but you definitely get this cool look to it. You get manual shifting only, and you get some important statistics, chronographs, and things like that if you're on a racetrack, so you can actually capture your time. I don't know how any of that stuff works. And then over here you can see where we're getting our downforce in the front and the back. And it'll change as we slow down and the graph goes down.
How much to fill up this thing, Pat?
Well, it's got a 20-gallon tank, so we're probably going to hit about 15 gallon, 15, 16 here. And 93 octane, of course, because what's the burn high test? 16, there we go. We got our benzina. You gotta learn Italian when you drive this car. You got benzina, you got olio for the oil, aqua for the water. Of course, I put water, I got gasoline.
And this is the gas cap, correct?
Yep, so there's actually no gas cap on this. When you open this up, it's one of those automatic jobs. First thing, we're going to put up the front lift. So we're going to press this button here. Because there's a little hump here, and I don't know how high this hump is. Look at that, no problem at all. We got another one up here. Now this front lift will automatically go down at 45 miles an hour.
Oh, so you don't even have to lower it?
Nope. But now we just cruise cruise over these speed humps. That was a big one. No problem at all.
Pat,
Yes.
how did the journey of cars begin for you?
So my dad was a mechanic, and he was also a car guy in the 50s. They were hot rodding cars, and he's the one that got me interested in cars. I always enjoyed going to the car cruises with him and car shows, and he would tell me about all these cars from the 50s and 60s that he owned and he worked on, and he hot rodded. He did all the engine work in them. I remember him helping buddies tear brand new engines out of cars so they can go over all the crankshafts with the emery cloth in order to make it so smooth where the connecting rods would attach and the engine would produce more power, things like that. So yeah, he was my inspiration, and he taught me how to work on cars. So I could bring the car home and I could do simple oil changes, do suspension work, you name it. If I could do it in the garage, I will do it, and I really enjoy doing it. See, that's what really got me started. And of course, having Corvettes. First thing I wanted when I joined the Army was a Corvette. I bought a 1978 Corvette on my military pay, which was very little, but I had to have it, and I loved the car. I absolutely loved the car. So after that, my dad and I worked on it. We were able to get ourselves into some shows and win some trophies with this car. So it was a great car to learn on, and it was also a great car to spend some time with my dad. So
Nice.
yeah, that's what kicked it off. Got rid of that 78, got into a 97 Corvette. Financial crisis hit in 2008. I sold everything because I was working for Citibank at the time. And 10 years later, bought the i8. Loved the car, but I wanted more. So I bought the NSX. I love the car, but I wanted the sound. And here we are today. We're in a 2018 Lamborghini Huracan Performante. And now our lift is going down because we went over 45 miles an hour.
Alright, so you've owned a plethora of cars, Pat. Corvettes, NSX, Porsches, probably other things that I don't know about. Comparison to the Lamborghini, talk about it.
Yeah, so this car is by far more than I ever had in the past, and it's actually also more than I expected. This car did not, this exceeded my expectations. I will say that the Lamborghini badge gets so much attention. I always wanted a Lamborghini. I had the Countach poster up on my wall in my bedroom as a kid. Always wanted a Lamborghini, so I knew that when the time came, I could get into a Lamborghini and I could enjoy the car. But what I didn't expect is the amount of attention that comes with this car. Every red light I stop at, people say, "What do you do for a living?" I say, "Oh, I'm a government employee. I work for the federal government." "How'd you end up with this car?" So well, I sold all my cars, I sold my house, and I decided I'm going to buy a Lamborghini, and that's exactly what I did. So I took that wealth that I had in those things, with the car market being high, with the housing market being high, and I said I'm going to sell it all, I'm going to move into a rental home with my wife, and I'm going to take a portion of that money that we got from selling everything, and I'm going to buy a Lambo. And it was super easy for me. I'm in the Exotic Car Hacks community, and PJ from Exotic Car Hacks teaches you how to get into these cars, the right cars, at the right price, with the right spec, and be able to exit out of them with the least amount of money lost, with the least amount of depreciation. So I've been with Exotic Car Hacks since I had the i8. So I had the i8, in and out of it, I lost $2,000, and I drove it for 3 years. NSX, I lost $3,000, and I drove it for 3 years. Now with this car, hopefully, I only lose about $1,000 or $2,000 if I keep it for about a year. But if I keep this thing for 3 years, I might lose about $2,000 per year, just because of how depreciation works with mileage on these cars. But my goal is really to keep this for about a year and a half and see what happens. But if I buy another house, you know, I may have to get rid of this car because I sold the house to buy the car. I'm just transferring that money around.
It's a nice way to enjoy the wealth. Good old wealth transfer. But like you said, the housing market is crazy right now. Interest rates are crazy, no matter how good your credit is. Interest rates are crazy. So yeah, salute on that move, man. Look, like I mentioned to you, you seem like you're a well thought out, very planned, very laser focused person. Would you say that's correct?
Yes, actually.
Have you always been like that?
Yes. It's part of the thing, and I think a lot of people get stuck in analysis, is that they're going for perfection. So as a youngster, you know, I always felt like I need to do more in order to be better. And if I'm better, then I'm going to have more success. And it can turn into an obsession. So I've let that part of me go. It's part of everybody, but I let that part of me go. But when it comes to setting myself up for success financially, that's in the forefront of my mind, because it's something we can control. And if we can control where our money's going, like, are we spending it on things we don't need? I mean, there's necessities, and everybody has them. And regardless of where your income level is, regardless of what your status is, there's a certain amount of money that goes out for needs, and you gotta cover those first. And then there's a certain part of your money for those wants. And those are, maybe you want to get the Fitbit or some kind of watch, or the radar detector for your regular car. You know, it's a want, or, you know, some kind of cell phone. You get it, but it's a want. And if you're able to pull that off without really hurting you financially, great. Now you just take that up a notch. You go, okay, now I want this car. How can I get into this car without it hurting me? And so you've got to keep everything in mind. You've got to make sure you take care of yourself. You got to feed yourself. You got to house yourself. You got to take care of your family. You got to take care of your spouse. There are things that you really got to have in the forefront of your mind. And then outside of that, you start looking at your wants and what you're able to pull off. And I tell you, Rell, if I wasn't able to get this car, I wouldn't own it. Because ultimately for me, I want to be able to take care of those things that are a necessity. And I also want to have some money put aside for an emergency. And if I don't have that money, I wouldn't have this car. So if I didn't sell that house that I had previously, if I didn't sell my other cars, I wouldn't be driving this Lamborghini. So for me, it was a way to transition into it. And therefore, when we move out of our rental home, we got a rental home with a 3-car garage. You've seen it, it's pretty big. But I needed a 3-car garage. So I had to get this massive house attached to this 3-car garage, unfortunately. But it's a rental and it's temporary. So when we start looking for a house, I now gotta have that mindset of where do I need to put my money so that I can live in a house for a certain period of time, and I'm not doing things like financing a car. I'm okay financing a house, and maybe I'll keep this Lamborghini, but if I have to get rid of this, that's fine. I'm gonna get into a Z06 C8 Corvette, because number one, it's economical. I can get in and out of it still. It holds its value pretty well. I get the sound, I get the drama, I get that noise, and you know, I can also get it outfitted with the carbon package on the inside, so it's special. And I love the Corvettes. I'm a Corvette guy, so I can get into a Corvette. I can be happy. I can drive it. I don't need all this attention that the Bull carries. That Bull badge carries so much attention, and so I can just go anywhere. I can take it to Walmart and not have people running up to me in the parking lot like I did get with this car. And I could just enjoy the car for what it is. But really, it's that mindset of how am I going to adjust where I put my wealth that I've accumulated, because I'm 50, I've accumulated over this amount of time. Where can I move that wealth so that I'm taken care of and my family's taken care of? And is there still enough left over to enjoy the things in life, because life only lasts so long.
All right, so best advice for a car enthusiast that's looking to get a Lamborghini. What do you think that they should do? You know, the younger self, like you said, you're 50. You know, we might got some guys out here or girls that's, you know, maybe teenagers in their late 20s, early 20s, 30s, 40s, that's looking to get into a Lamborghini. What would you say to them as far as advice that they should do financially to set themselves up?
Well, you gotta have passion and you gotta have purpose. So you find your passion, you find your purpose, and that's going to give you the ability to get yourself into a position where you can earn money, because your biggest builder of wealth is your paycheck. So you're going to work for somebody or you're going to work for yourself. But no matter what you do, find your purpose and really align yourself with that. And then try to find a way to up-level yourself. So when I was growing up, get a degree, get a job, you'll get a pension. You know, there was a lot around that it's constantly changed. And in today's like social media, there are ways to make money on TikTok, on Instagram, by coming up with a product or selling coaching or providing people with some type of a tip to be able to do better on their self, you know, for themselves. And it's something that you learned and you're able to pass that on. So number one, find your passion, find your purpose, and lock into that. Find a way to leverage that in order to create wealth. That's number one, and I suggest that for anybody at any age. Now, you're looking at this specific car, all right? You have the wealth already. You're able to get into this thing. You're able to put money down on the car. Let's say you don't have the money to buy it outright. You're gonna finance. So you're gonna put money down on the car. You gotta negotiate with who's selling this car and be able to offer something that's reasonable to them and still gives you a good deal, because you gotta think of your exit strategy. When I get out of this car, because I put this many miles on it, it might be worth this. And you could look at the next model of your older car. You could look at that car has more miles on the car that I want. What is that car going for on Car Gurus? I am going to try to make that offer on that car in order to entice that dealer to sell it to me, but also not hurt myself in the process of trying to buy this car. So that's number one, negotiation. Number two, pre-purchase inspection. Every single Lamborghini that's been bought has a problem. So if you're looking at a used Lamborghini, you're gonna have a problem. You want to be able to reduce your risk by sending every car to pre-purchase inspection. I sent 4 cars to pre-purchase inspection. 3 of them were completely messed up. 1 had odometer fraud. If I didn't know that, and I bought that car with 7,000 miles on the odometer, and I went to sell it, it would have had over 25,000 miles on it when I went to sell it. Who's getting stuck with the depreciation? Me. So always send a car to pre-purchase inspection to a qualified third-party mechanic that knows Lamborghinis. That is the number one thing you gotta do with these cars. All right, guys, we're approaching the bridge.
Look at the sheeps.
Yeah, we're in the country out here.
Oh yeah, we're in the back roads. Oh, look at this bridge.
These things were designed way before Lamborghinis. Alright, I'm going to back up into that little pull-off that's right there. Let's see. It doesn't look good, it doesn't look
Come out?
Yeah, I'm thinking. It's too bad there's so much traffic. That's the thing. I don't know. I'd love to park it up at the bridge, but I'm going to end up blocking traffic. So I'm not going to do that. Italian. You gotta learn Italian. You gotta benzina up here for fuel. And see the temperature, it says 77.9 degrees Fahrenheit. That's because they convert it from Celsius. It's not actually 77.9. That's whatever the conversion was to 77.9. So it might be 77, it might be 78, but it's always gonna tell you a decimal in Fahrenheit. And the tire pressure is in bar. So you don't get a PSI, you get bar. It's the weirdest thing.
Pat, so what I got is the top 5. We'll ask you 5 random questions.
All right.
And you give me the answers to all 5.
I'll give you 5 random answers.
5 random answers. All right, so first question. What's your dream car?
I'm driving it. Yeah, I need to come up with a new one, don't I? Because if I'm driving this car, then I need another dream car.
Well, I mean, you're just driving your dream.
Okay, Pagani.
Pagani Huayra.
Yep.
All right. Favorite restaurant?
Ooh, that's a tough one. So I had to switch my diet because I got this aortic aneurysm now, so I've been eating a Mediterranean diet. So I will go to Panera and get the Mediterranean salad. That is like the #1 thing for me. I love the taste of it, and it's healthy for me.
Favorite destination place to visit?
Montana. And I went there this year.
Okay.
Yep.
What keeps you going every day?
What keeps me going every day? So I like to look at each day as, at the beginning of the day, as being something new. Like I need to learn something new during that day. There's going to be something that's challenging. There's going to be something that's exciting. If you get out of bed in the morning and you don't have a smile on your face first thing in the morning, you gotta find a way to bring that. You gotta find the passion again. You gotta bring that into your life, and that's what's going to drive you every day, no matter what it is. And if it changes, all the better.
All right, last and final question, Pat. You ready for this one?
Oh yeah.
How do you want to be remembered?
Contribution. My big thing is, and with my YouTube channel, is I provide my time and my experience, my wisdom to other people. So I think right now my YouTube channel is what really gave me that ability to provide that remembrance of me. You know, there's some type of contribution to society. So that's my thing. Contribution.
Love it. And where can people find you at, Pat?
Pat's Garage Online. We got a YouTube, we got an Instagram, and we have a TikTok now. Figured out what the heck, TikTok.
And to piggyback, man, how is it owning your ultimate goal dream car?
It sometimes it's overwhelming. I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth. Not everybody can do this, and for that, I mean, I'm very grateful. I'm humbled by that, and I wish everybody could do this, and I know that not everybody can. So, you know, it does humble me, and it gives me that feeling that, you know, I'm really lucky. And sometimes I'll look down at this badge and it'll bring a tear to my eye when I'm driving this car, because I never thought I'd be here, and I'm getting the chills now just thinking about it. So yeah, it's definitely a humbling experience. But see, I'm picky like that, you know?
I get it. Look, you're a professional, Pat. We at bridge number 2. Pat getting the shots of the Performante at another covered bridge. There's tons of covered bridges out here in Frederick. Tons of land. All you see is
Smell the
acres.
cows. Can you smell them?
Yeah, you can. Look, every farm has animals. Every farm has animals. Look, if you have all these acres, you better have some crop and you better have some animals out here. But that's a waste.
that lady. I was waiting for her to go by, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, she was taking
she's
a video.
gonna take a picture. I had to. I'm like, oh, no, that's all right. I totally get it.
Pat, you can't go 5 feet in this thing without somebody giving you a thumbs up, pulling out their phone. This is really a car for the people.
Yes, yes. It gets way more attention than you'd ever think. Way more.
How did you like the Cars and Coffee so far? Taking us out to Cars and Coffee, and say you just went on a rally.
Yeah, so the Cars and Coffee is great because that crowd is typically car people. So I'm used to getting the attention with the IE, with the NSX, with this. I mean, any car you bring out to Cars and Coffee, they're car people. So you're always going to associate with people that think your car's cool and they have questions. So get it all the time. But I did do the Bullfest rally, which is 60 Lamborghinis, and I got to tell you, that was way cool. It was a good crowd of people, and you know, there are all kinds. People that are business owners that own Lamborghinis, or you know, people who want to make a name for themselves own Lamborghinis. So you get this huge, diverse population of Lamborghini owners, and we're all out on the road together, and we're all just, you know, hearing the sounds of the cars. And you look in the rearview mirror, you see nothing but Lamborghinis, and there have been videos posted to Instagram of just normal people driving down the road, and I'm like, oh my God, Lamborghinis everywhere, what's going on? But the children in the cars with their cell phones or their iPads, and they're taking, you can just tell that they're just blown away by this. This is something they've never seen before. They've only seen it in a video game or on online or whatever. Put smiles on their faces, and that's really what's important. I can't tell you how many kids already I've offered to let just sit in this car, and the parents taking pictures. It blows them away, just blows them away, and it makes me feel good too. So yeah, it gets all kinds of great reactions.
What a beast, Pat. What a beast.
It's not a supercar. So so the NSX went up to about 160, but I didn't sell it at the top because if I sold it at the top, what am I going to buy? What am I going to replace it with? Am I going to buy a Huracan? How much am I going to spend for that? You know, so I ended up keeping the NSX. But deep down inside, I'm like, I just want a Huracan. And I even thought about just getting an R8. If I get an R8, it has the same internals. It's just more luxury, but I can convert the exhaust to make it sound better. You know, there were things about the Huracan or the R8 that would have been great as well. But it's not a Huracan. It's not a Lamborghini.
People get the R8, so they're like, I should have bought a Huracan.
Yep.
What you trying to race?
No.
Oh, you're not trying to race.
No, not at all.
Why not?
You too fast, man. You got it. You too fast, man.
Oh, y'all niggas will get me.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Y'all live in Fred?
Yep, I do. He's in Baltimore, but I'm in Frederick.
Y'all stay safe.
All right,
man.
thank you.
Right, W.
Yeah.
Pat, man, it's been a pleasure to be out in this beauty, man. For sure, for sure. Look, this thing is a blast, guys. The Lamborghini Performante. It's definitely high up on my list, man. High up on the list. The noise, the sounds, the people. Again, Pat, I really greatly appreciate you for taking me out and enjoying this vehicle. Definitely means a lot to me. You guys, be sure to check them out. Pat's Garage Online on YouTube. And you got Instagram as well, right?
Same thing, Pat's Garage Online as well there. And hey, Rell, it's always a pleasure hanging out with you. I enjoyed our time together. We had a blast, and I'm glad that Rell was able to come out and go for a ride with me today. And I know it was a thrill for me too. So thanks.
Cool. So thank you guys for joining the video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. And as I always say, stay positive, stay motivated. Salute.